going out the house. Sign of life. Antibacterial wipes. Gonna take the bike for a ride. I'm leaving my chair behind because I'm not gonna get off. I'm also not gonna talk to anyone. Well, if I do talk to people, I'm gonna keep my distance. The guidelines are like 2 meters distance between people. So I'm gonna do that, but I'll also have my helmet on. So if anything, I'm wearing all the right stuff to be very protected. So I thought I'd show you how I get on my bike. It's not the most graceful, but this is how I get on. So, pick up one leg. So the bike, hold onto one handlebar, pick one leg up, hold onto the back here, hold that. Ooh, I don't have stomach muscles or core strength. Paralysed from about here down. So for anyone who's watching who has a spinal cord injury, I'd say that's quite an alright transfer to do, but it just takes a bit of practice. Just holding onto the right bit so that you can hoik yourself on. The next thing I do is pick my feet up, and my Riker has been adapted with special foot plates so that my foot can go on like that and not fall off, because the standard foot plates that come with the bikes are not big enough or wide enough to keep my feet on, and my feet would just bounce off when I'm riding. So I just keep my feet like that. I've got the option to strap my feet in, but I'm not going to do that today because I'm only going on roads that aren't very bumpy and stuff like that, so they're pretty safe. It's there. I keep the straps on for when I'm doing stuff that's a bit more bumpy and my feet might come out, like if the road conditions aren't great or I'm going a little bit off-road or whatever. So that's how I get on. Okay, so antiseptic wipes. So I'm going to wipe down my handles, but I have got gloves on. It's funny because actually, really, motorbiking is probably one of the more safer things to be doing right now, because you're on your own, you're in a helmet, you're getting some fresh air, it's good for your mental well-being. And yeah, I just feel like it's an extreme way to self-isolate, but it's a way nonetheless. So this is my helmet. I don't have any balance because of my paralysis, so this isn't the easiest thing to do with one hand, because I've got to hold on for a balance. So if I take it off, I'm a bit wobbly. I'll try. Cool. So I think what I'm going to do, hold on, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but what I'm going to do today is just go for a bit of fresh air. And also I'm kind of intrigued to see what's going on out there in the world. I'm not in London, I live in London normally, but I'm down at my mum and dad's, so I'm in Sussex in the south of England, and I'm just going to go and see what's going on around and the lay of the land whilst getting a bit of fresh air. So thought I'd take you with me so we can see what's going on. As you can see, my bike is all hand controlled, so the brake has been moved here. It was down on your by my back, normally it comes by your feet, but it's now all in the hand control, so someone who's got mobility impairment, can't use their lower limbs or haven't got lower limbs, can ride the bike. Okay, time to get out of here. It feels like riding into the apocalypse or something. I don't know if anyone watches Walking Dead, but like the feeling of like going on a run.
going out into the world. What's out there? I don't know. Obviously, it's not going to be like that at all, but you know what I mean? It's like right now, it's just this feeling when you watch the news, if you're in your own world, in your own little bubble at home, which is where you're meant to be, self-isolating, it can feel like you don't know what to expect when you go outside. So, here I go, into the world. There's something so magical about just leaving my wheelchair behind and switching for a motorbike. I mean, it's extreme, but who doesn't love extremes, huh? Amazing to see so many cyclists out today. So, when I was about 19, I was in a pub, sitting on a pub bench, and I got a splinter in my right bum cheek. And unfortunately, that splinter was unknown to me because I have complete paralysis, which means I can't feel below the level of my injury. So that splinter was sat in my right bum cheek and I didn't know it was there. But eventually I found it, I felt it, and I went to a nurse and I said, "Help! Can you please tell me what to do?" So she put a plaster on it and told me to come back in about a week's time. And unfortunately I was allergic to the plaster and I formed an abscess. So that abscess has to get removed. And I was left with a hole in my right bum cheek that had to be healed. And it took about 3 years to fix. And what it meant was during those 3 years, I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. I had to lie on my stomach and I had to wait for this wound to heal naturally. And I can tell you that's like watching paint dry. So I was lying on my stomach for about 3 years. Oh my God, there's people still playing golf. What is going on? Oh dear. This means if people aren't listening to the guidelines from the government, this virus is going to spread like wildfire, and vulnerable people will die, elderly people will die, young people will die, and we will stay in quarantine like this for longer. What's wrong with everybody? So I've come up all the way up here to Devil's Dyke. It's so beautiful. There's a lot of people still up here, but they do seem to be sort of, keeping their distance from other people and just staying in their groups. It does feel strange to compare the real world to what's on the news, and it's easy to forget right now, sitting in the sunshine like this, that the world is struggling the way it is. And everyone still needs to exercise, everyone needs fresh air, so that's what everybody's doing. Getting out and about. I'm so lucky to be able to come out like this, and I do feel relatively safe given that I've got my helmet on and I'm not touching anybody. But yeah, nice to see the view, huh? So, back to the story I was telling before. I spent a huge amount of time on bed rest, which could be called quarantine, could be called isolation. It definitely was socially distancing. And I have experience of it. So this feels very familiar, this situation to me now. And one of the things I pledged to myself when I was locked down was that the minute that I got out, I would find the freest way to live my life, which is why I bought a motorbike. So cruising around on my motorbike today it feels beyond words, really. It's like a freedom I can't even describe, having spent so much time locked down. And I hope that actually, for the first time really, many people might empathise with this situation that thousands of disabled people find themselves in every day, where we are left out. We do have to prioritise our health and keep ourselves at home. And what happens when you come out and you get back into the world is you do crazy things like buy motorbikes, because you realise what's important and you realise what matters to you and what makes you happy. So in this time of isolation, I encourage you to really think about what's next. Plan ahead. And when we do come out of it, I hope the world will be a better place. I hope we'll have more empathy and understanding for each other and more gratitude. Maybe that's silver lining thinking, fuck knows. But right now, I'm on my little adventure, getting some fresh air, and I'm taking you with me. For all the people that are locked in their rooms, in their homes, trying to protect themselves and the people they love, I'm taking you with me. I hope I'm not rubbing salt in the wound. You can always just turn me off if I am. But if you want to come with me, I'm going to be doing this every day, just going out for a little bit, and hopefully not endangering myself or anybody else. But look how beautiful this country is. Look how beautiful. Wow. Spring is in the air, people. It really is. A lot of people out on their bikes. Good effort, mate. And there's the sea, and that's Brighton and Hove. This is my favourite road. Got home and I've realised my chair isn't very accessible, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get off the bike for a bit until I can get someone's attention to get my chair. Oh, that's stupid. I have to beat the horn. I don't have any phone signal here. I've been rescued. Get my chair for me. My trusty steed. Hi. Weird out there.
Yeah.
It's like there's still people everywhere.
Yeah.
And ice cream man and, you know, life is normal.
Yeah.
Okay.